let's learn about reflections in geometry. So I've drawn a simple trapezoid here, and I want to do some reflecting across the axis. So I'm going to begin by reflecting over the y-axis. And let's kind of, if I can, color coordinate this a little bit. So the y-axis. Well, first of all, just to note what the y-axis is, this is the y-axis. And when we say reflect, what we mean is basically create a mirror image on the other side. So how we would do that using our graph is we would basically say, I want to just flip this thing over. So if it were 2 units away from the axis, I now want it to be 2 units in the other direction on that axis. And if it were, 5 units away, I want it to be 5 units on the other side. So this one was 3 units away. I just want to make sure I get those distances the same. And it's not shifting up or down at all. We'll connect those. And there is a reflection over the y-axis. Now what you'll notice here is that our y coordinate always stayed the same. And what I mean by that is, like right here, this coordinate right here is -2, 1. Well, the translated, or the reflected point, is +2, 1. Notice we just changed the sign on the x value. We didn't change anything on the y value. This point right here was -3, 3, and the reflected point was +3, 3. So to reflect across the y-axis, we just changed the sign of the x. And that's it. Okay? Now, let's do a reflection across the x-axis. Again, I'm going to kind of color coordinate this. So, important to note that this right here is the x-axis. So if I am going to reflect that, we were 1 unit above the axis. Now we'll be 1 unit below the axis. Okay. If we were 3 units above, now we're going to be 3 units below. We can kind of fill the rest of these in. And this is a reflection over the y-axis. Now, you'll notice here, my original point was, -2, 1. Well, now it's -2, -1. Right? This point was -5, 1. Now it's -5, -1. So to reflect across the x-axis, we change the sign of the y-coordinate. So this is the simplest reflections. Again, it's just creating kind of a mirror image. If you want to think about it this way, you can say I'm trying to basically find the distance away from the axis in question, which changes the sign of the other part of the coordinate. So if I'm reflecting over the y-axis, I simply change the x. If it was positive, I make it negative. If it was negative, I make it positive. And only the x. The y stays the same. And if I was reflecting over the x-axis, I change the sign of the y. I leave the x the same. Again, we're just trying to figure out how far away you are and then reflect those points down. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more geometry help.